Hello and welcome to your beginners class. I'm Leo. Take those foam pads, place them to one side or whatever you're sitting on so that you've got a clear mat. Now, in Tadasana, we're taking the inner edges of the feet together, spreading the toes and taking the weight right back into the heels. Roll your shoulders back and down, stretch down with your fingertips. So we're using the weight in the bones to get the lifts in the body. So the leg bones have to feel really anchored, heavy and weighted, so that the heel bones are almost growing roots into the floor. So it's that movement down of the heel bones. Toes are spreading, soles of the feet opening out. Stretch the hands down so that with that extension down with the arms, you get an extension up with the spine. Lift your kneecaps, lift your thigh muscles. Take the weight right back into those heel bones and extend up with the crown of the head. So keeping those actions, we're going to take the right arm up. So swing up with your right arm, hold on to the upper arm and rotate that in. And then bend your right arm so that the thumb comes down. With that action, so we can do together, with that action, just use this left hand to push the elbow up towards the ceiling. Okay, and releasing. So come back to your Tadasana attention. See that the weight has not drifted forwards on the feet, that it's still back into the heel bones, that you're still anchoring down with those heel bones, leg bones really heavy. But all of the soft tissue fibre, the skin, the muscle, it's all lifting up as the bones are grounding down. So stretch up with your left arm now. Really extend and then take hold right at the shoulder joint, not just the arm muscles, but at the shoulder joint. Rotate that in as you stretch up and then let the hand drop back so that the thumb comes down between the shoulder blades. And then push up with your right hand so that we're really opening out in this outer armpit area. It tends to get very stuck, that outer armpit area. All right, and releasing down. Roll your shoulders back and down. So we're going to do the lower arm now. I'm just going to show. We'll stretch the arm out, turn it, and take it up the back like that. Okay, so stretch down with the fingertips, lift up with the chest, extend your left arm out. I'm going to turn around so that you can see the back view. So take the left arm out below shoulder height, extend into the fingertips, create that space in this joint here, the shoulder joint here, as though your arm is being pulled out of the socket, then turn it, then take it up the back. Keep the shoulder back, work the hands up between the shoulder blades. You can use this right hand to give your arm a little bit of assistance, but then this shoulder, this right shoulder has to move back again, so you don't bring it forwards, back with that shoulder. All right, releasing, and now we're going to do to the other side. So stretch out with the right arm, get the space, open in the shoulder joint, turn, take the arm up the back. Now it doesn't matter how far up, it might be that it's just going to here. If there's a little bit of shoulder stiffness, then you know that's fine. That's just where we are at the moment. So take the hand up, move this shoulder back. So don't, as you take the hand up, for many of us with quite a lot of mobility in the shoulder, the hand can come right up and this shoulder comes right forwards, and then you get that winging out of the shoulder blade. So take that shoulder back. All right, and releasing down and stretching down and extending up with the crown of the head. Good. I'm going to come into Parvatasana now. Interlock the fingers, right little finger on the outside. Now make a fist right into the pits of the fingers. We're going to turn the palms and take the backs of the palms onto the crown of the head. If you have had a dislocated shoulder joint, I don't want you working in this way. If you've had a dislocated shoulder joint, then rather than doing what we're doing, also if your shoulders are very stiff and it's difficult to hold the palms in the way that I'm demonstrating, then you would just take a belt or a tea towel, something like that. You'd hold on to that and you just bring the arms up, and you'll repeat that twice. So that's for those people with shoulder issues. Otherwise, you're going to be turning and taking the hands here onto the crown of the head. Now the temptation for those who are very flexible at this point is to use the lumbar spine and pop those ribs forwards. We're not going to do that. We're going to take those ribs back, the abdomen back, keep the tailbone long, and then with resistance we stretch the arms up and then bring them back onto the head. Okay, so either with your belt or interlocking the fingers, right little finger on the outside, turn the palms, let the shoulders relax, take the backs of the palms onto the crown of the head and pull the elbows away from one another. Breathe, lift your kneecaps, lift your thigh muscles, weight back into the heel bones. Now keep your ribs back. Imagine that your navel is stapled to your spine. So move the abdomen right back towards the spine. And then with resistance, stretch your arms up, flattening the palms, breathing through the nasal passages. This is hard work. You'll probably be getting a little bit warm now. Breathe. Pull the upper arms away from one another, but keep those fingers really firmly interlocked. Now with resistance, bring the hands down, pull the elbows, and then bring the hands down. So if you're working with the belt, bring the hands down and then just, you can take the arms back up again. Those working with the fingers, interlock in the different direction, shoulders relaxed, kneecaps and thigh muscles lifting. Backs of the palms onto the back of the head, so right onto the crown of the head. Take those elbows away from one another, release your shoulders, don't create tension in the sides of the neck. Ribs back, navel back towards the spine with resistance, lift up. Facial features nice and soft, so even smile because it's yoga. Stretch up with the arms. Keep the sides of the neck soft, don't tighten in the shoulders. Breathe. We have to use the breath when we're in these challenging actions. With resistance, bring the arms back down again, stretch the arms away, and then releasing down. Now just roll the shoulders back and down, interlock the fingers behind and pull down. So get this nice opening through the front of the body. So the shoulders should be feeling a little bit more alive now. We're going to come into Prasarita Padottanasana. Now you can do this onto the seat of the chair. I'm doing it onto a couple of bricks so that you can see better. All right, I just want your hands raised a little bit. So if you have no bricks but you have foam pads, you can use foam pads upended. If you don't have any equipment, then you get yourself a kitchen chair, a dining room chair, and you push that away from you. Hopefully it will move on your floor. So I'm just going to show how we're going to work in this. You step or jump your feet wide. So I'm demonstrating first and then we'll do together in a moment. You press down into your outer foot bones, you lift up with the inner thighs, inner ankles, inner knees. Frontal hip bones lift and you get that length in the tailbone, the weighted action in the bones as you hinge forwards and take your hands down, either to your chair. You can use a washing up bowl if you've got an upended washing up bowl, that would be fine too. Now make sure that the middle toe is pointing directly forwards. Don't have your feet turning out. Lift your navel towards your spine and walk your hands forwards. So once you get your hands forwards, that's when we start to work on the upper back. All right, so let's do that together. So if you did it with me, that's fine. You can do it again. Bring your hands to the center. Step or jump the feet wide. Push down into the outer foot. Lift through the whole of the inner leg. Inner ankles lifting, inner kneecaps lifting, inner thigh muscles lifting, inner groins lifting, frontal hip bones lifting. But now the bones are pushing down, the tailbone is weighting down. And from the weight of the tailbone moving towards the floor, see, can you lift your spinal column up? And breathe. Now put your fingertips here on your frontal hip bones. Keep this distance between the frontal hips and your thigh bones. So extend forwards, take your hands down onto your supports. Look at your feet and make sure that your feet are facing directly forwards, that they haven't snuck out while you weren't looking. Now your navel moves up towards your spine, so you've got this strong lift through the legs, strong lift through the frontal hip bones, movement of the navel towards the spine, and we're going to lengthen the body by stretching your support, be it the chair, be it the foam pads, whatever it is, bricks as I'm using here. Now once you're in this position, I don't want you just dropping your lumbar spine. You've got to feel the area between your shoulder blades and see, can you move that into your body without dropping the rest of the spine? So don't let your frontal hip bones drop towards the floor. They stay strongly lifted, and you just move that area between the shoulder blades. Really tricky to get that identified and then moving. All right, bring the bricks or the chair or your hands back in, heel toe your feet in, step or jump the feet back into Tadasana, weight back into the heel bones, chest lifting, and breathe. Adho Mukha Svanasana, dog head down. We're going to lift up, get that height, get the extension. We're going to just come forwards and back to get a sensation of that upper back again, and then push back into the legs. And from here, we will come down into Adho Mukha Virasana. All right, so everybody come onto your hands and knees. Middle finger forwards, hands shoulder width apart, knees and feet hip width apart, inner elbows face one another. Now move your abdomen up towards your spine. So navel as though it's hooked towards the spine there. Keep that navel lifting up. Draw your shoulder blades down, extend your breastbone forwards. Tuck your toes under and lift your sitting bones as high as you can. So lift up, lift up, lift up, lift up. Get that height. Keep the height, look forwards at your hands. Now just bring yourself forwards and back. So your arms are coming from a sloped position into a slightly more vertical position, and then back to a sloped position again. Keep your kneecaps lifting, your thigh muscles active and gripping to the bone. All right, now come back again. See if you can feel your dorsal spine region. Look at your feet. Make sure that your feet are evenly distanced from the edges of the mat. So don't have one too far in and the other one further out. Look at your inner heels. Make sure that your inner heels are equal. Are your kneecaps and thigh muscles still lifting? Are your frontal pelvic bones still lifting? Is your navel still hooked towards your spine? Now from there, look at the frontal creases of your frontal thighs and push those back as though they were being pulled back at the top of your thigh bone. Don't lose any of the other actions in the body as you're getting that action of the top of the thighs moving back. So don't let the frontal pelvic bones drop. Breathe through the nostrils. And now releasing down into Adho Mukha Virasana. Toes together, heels apart, and extending forwards, resting your head down.